Welcome back to game night, my friends. You're watching Brad's on a Map, and tonight we are playing Gizmos. I play games live and unscripted so that you can hear all my thoughts, strategies, and table talk. My goal is to give you the confidence to try these games out for yourself. Maybe you'll even decide to host your own game night. If you're here live on Twitch, you're part of the table tonight, so join the chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know what moves you would have done differently. If you enjoyed these playthroughs, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Brad's on a Map. I also share highlights from every game on Instagram and TikTok. So if one of those makes you laugh or rethink a strategy, pass it on. And with that, it's time to play Gizmos. Let's see how well I actually read the rulebook. This game was actually requested tonight by one of my friends, and he might be jumping on with us to play. That would be cool. I am looking forward to more people actually interacting more in the chat as well as playing with me live. So let's stay tuned for that. We're already in a game in progress here. Let's talk through what we're doing. This is another engine builder. Engine building games, they're about scoring points, but they're also about trade-offs where you could, let's say you're playing a card down. You play a card that can either get you a lot of points, or you can play a card that gets you less points, but it makes your abilities stronger for the rest of the game. So you have to decide between immediate points now and less points that help you get more points in the future. So everything's a push and pull. This engine builder is all about building these gizmos, these little robot guys. Actually, let me turn on my fancy new icon. Hopefully this lets people see what I'm pointing at and highlight a little better. So these are just these little fancy robots that we're going to build and play, and they're going to be worth points. The points are here in the top right. So you can see everything down here is currently worth 1. Everything in this row is going to be worth 2 to 3, and everything on this top row is going to be worth 4 to 7. And you can also see that right here. So 3 levels of gizmos that we can build. Level 1, worth 1 point. Level 2, worth 2 to 3 points. Level 3, worth 4 to 7 points. How do we build these gizmos? Well, we got to pay for them with energy. The energy are these little orbs up here. So this is it's kind of like a gumball machine where you got a bunch of different colored gumball energy orbs in there, and they're going to feed out on this conveyor belt. So you can see here, when it becomes time to select energy, we can either select one that we can see, one of these guys, or we can just blind grab one from the whatever this is called. I'm going to call it the gumball machine because that's what it is. And we can also see this grayed out one because we can kind of peek inside and see what the next available one's going to be after one of these gets taken. So each of these gizmos you can see has a color. So we got black here, blue, got some reds, and that's the energy color that it requires as well as the number here. So this one, if you look in the bottom right, it costs 6 black energy to build that gizmo, and that's going to give us 6 victory points. This one right here only costs 1 blue energy to build, and that's going to give us 1 victory point. And that's pretty much it. We're going to get a bunch of energy. We're going to build gizmos with it. These gizmos are all going to be worth points, and whoever has the most points at the end wins. So let's talk about turn structure and what we can actually do. We can see here in our tableau, these are our 5 available options. We can file, pick, build, or research. Let's talk about building first. That's the most obvious one. You take the energy you have and you spend it on a gizmo, either in this play area right here or over in our archive. So this is taking energy we already have and using it to build a gizmo. Picking is about getting energy. So you can see here it says take 1 energy from the 6 available in the energy row. And that's how we're going to fill up our little energy container right here. And so there's going to be times where we're just going to start stacking up on energy. Maybe we want these couple yellows, so we'll throw those 3 yellows in there, and then we'll use those on the build action in the future. So pick is how we get energy. That's how we get these energy orbs right here. Build is how we convert that energy into gizmos that will then play down in front of us. So everything we see here are gizmos that have already been played. The last 2 things are filing. It's calling dibs on a gizmo. So what we're going to do is grab one of these gizmos that we like and we want to reserve it, but we can't quite build it yet. And we're going to throw it into our archive here. So let's say I'm eyeing up this three black, and I only have two black. I know I can get that pretty quickly. So I can't build it right now because I don't have the energy in my energy pool to pay for it. I can file it. I can choose this file action here, and then it goes into my research column. Those are ones that only I can then build. Or excuse me, it goes into my archive column, and those are ones that only I can build. Researching is similar to filing. What you're going to do is blind draw off the top of the deck here, and you'll get 3, 4, 5 cards that you can look at, and then you choose one to keep, and you either research it or you build it. So if you don't like any of the, let's say I want to focus on level 1 here. I don't like any of these 4. I want a yellow. What I can do is I can research here, and it'll research up to my research level, which we'll talk about in a second. And then I can hope that maybe one of the yellow ones is in there, and I can build that. Or if not, I can put it in my archive and file it away to build later. So those are the 4 basic actions. Picking is getting energy. Building is converting that energy into a gizmo that we then play in front of us. Filing is reserving a gizmo that we can't play yet, but we want to set it here in our archive to play later. And then researching is if I want to file or build, but I don't see any of these ones out here that I like, I can instead choose one off of one of these stacks right here. Couple of limitations here. So we're going to see a few icons here. The 5 with the hands, that is our energy level. That's how many energy orbs that we can hold on to at a time. So when we start the game, we're going to be able to put up to 5 energy orbs in our container here. The folder icon in the middle, that 1, that's how many gizmos we can have in this archive column right here. So right now, these two both have 1. That's what we start out with. So at first, we got to pick and choose carefully because we can only file 1 gizmo into our archive at a time. And then the last limit is the research level. So that's the magnifying glass with the 3. And we start out being able to research 3. So that means we can blind draw 3 off of any one of these decks. Now you can see here that they've played some cards underneath of this. And now we're going to talk about the engine building aspect of this game. Anytime you build a gizmo, it's going to give you powers that you can use later. And these are all explained at the top right here. Depending on what they do, they'll go into one of these columns. So let's look at these gizmos right here. These are gizmos that have already been built. What this first gizmo does is it gives them 1 additional to their energy capacity. So instead of that 5 right there, now they can do 6. They actually did that again, so they have 2 plus 1s. So if we look over here, somewhere right here, you can see that their total energy is 1 out of 7. So their limit's actually 7 now because they've upgraded it twice. They've also upgraded their archive limit twice. So they can file up to 3. And that's this 1 out of 3 gizmos filed versus their limit right here. This person has not upgraded their research limit, but this person has. So you can see we start with the 3, and they added a +1 here. And so now when we look over here, their research limit is 3. So they can actually blind draw 4 off the top of the deck, and that just gives them a little better options of what they can do. And so those are gizmos that they built that happen to improve their upgrade capabilities. We can also build gizmos that improve our conversion. So we can see here, this person, when they go to do a build action, they can actually convert one of their yellow energies into a different color. They can convert their black, and they can do it for blue. So this person is doing a conversion heavy strategy. So these gizmos not only got them a point here, but they also give them ability to have more flexibility with the energy they have in their energy pool. So now their yellows can be anything, their blues can be anything, and their blacks can be anything. And that goes for all of these columns as well. So these are also power-ups you get every time you file a gizmo. This person lets you draw a gizmo. So that is not picking one of the ones we see here. That's what I was talking about, where you kind of reach your hand in the gumball machine and select one at random. This one actually lets them pick. So every time they file, they get to activate all of these gizmos. So the first one here lets them draw from the back of the energy selector, and this one lets them pick off of the tray. You can also have gizmos that upgrade your ability to pick. So this person, instead of working on conversion, every time they pick a yellow, they get to draw one from the back of the energy supply. Every time they pick a red, they do the same. Every time they pick a black, they do the same. Every time they pick a black, they do the same again. So they actually get to take two from the back. So not only are we picking these gizmos based on the points that they have and what energy we happen to have to pay for them, but we're also looking at what synergies they give us. Whether we want to focus on getting a lot of bonus actions when we build a gizmo, when we research a gizmo, when we pick an energy, or when we file away. That is the engine building aspect of this game. It's really simple. There's only 2 or 3 actions you can do, and it's going to give you a sense of how you can think through the early stages of a game, planning out your later steps. This game ends when someone has built 16 gizmos or 4 level 3 gizmos. We'll kind of keep an eye when we start playing. You can see this person has built 7, this person's built 8, so we'll have to keep an eye on that to see how much time we have to do various things. But it's a fairly quick game, and it's a fairly simple game, and it's a really enjoyable introduction to Euro-type scoring as well as engine builders. So with that, we can start looking for a game to jump into. Thank you for interacting in the chat. Always makes me happy. Oh, look at that. We don't even have to jump into a game. Okay, so this is not going to be the game where I get my first victory on the channel because Starter Shot has invited us to a game. So let's be prepared to get the hands here. Luckily, we don't have to wait for a game, but this isn't going to be the one we win. Okay, let's get started. So you can see here we all start with one free filed gizmo. It's not worth any points, but it gives us the basics of that engine. So what this is going to let us do is when we file a gizmo, we get to draw from the back of the energy here. And so it always makes sense on your first move to do just that because it lets you do 2 things at once. It lets you get a gizmo into your archive because we don't have the energy. We can't build anything yet. So we're going to file one, and then we're going to have an energy later on. So where do I want to start? I like this. Wait, I like this one too. So when I file a gizmo, I can pick, or this upgrades my capacity, my energy capacity, as well as my archive limit. So remember, that's these ones over here. So that would give me the ability to hold 6 energy and file up to 2. This one, when I file, I can pick an energy. Let us do this one. So you can see here I can't build it because I don't have any reds, but I am going to file it. Now, it's really helpful on this UI because you can see it's already highlighting the gizmos that I can now activate. Remember, I just took an action in this column, so I get to activate every gizmo in this column. So now I'm going to click this, and that's going to draw a random energy for me, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope it's red. And it was blue, so fuck me. He just picked an energy. Okay, so instead of doing what I just did, where I grabbed a gizmo to file and then hoped that I blind drew the color, he picked the color he wanted off the bat. And you can see he got a black. So he's working towards something to start with. So based on this blue, I am going to... I could either build this one, and that gives me more when I file. Let's build the one we have. So I'm going to pick this red here. So I chose the pick action, and that's going to let me activate every gizmo in this column, which there aren't any. But so what I just did is I picked that red, and then I'm going to use that to build this one that I've already put in my archive. Click that because we want to build this one. Remember, I have not built this column. This is just reserved for me to build. I've set it aside, only I can build it. And you can see here it is now letting me know that I can build it. So I will click build here. And now I have slightly more abilities when I file gizmos. So let's lean into that strategy. I like this blue guy right here. I could build him or I could file him. I'm going to file him because that's going to give me 2 energy right here. And so what I'm also doing is building up in one column. This is called min-maxing, where you focus on individual aspects of your engine and ignore other ones. So right now, I just feel like leaning into the filing. So I'm going to file this guy away. And now I get to activate every gizmo in this column. Oh, which one do I want? Do I want blue, 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 or blue? Oh, I got to select the gizmo first. And now I'll click that blue. And now I get to pick one off the back as well. So now we're starting to get some stuff built up here. He's going to go fast. I'm not going to go fast because I got to talk. Let's look at that other one we liked previously. Here's where it's interesting. Do I want to risk a 2 blue being in this column? I don't think I do. So remember, everything in this row is worth 2 to 3. Usually what you have to pay for it is the same as the victory points you'll get. So do I want to risk hoping there's one that I can afford that costs 2 blue, unlike this 3 blue? Because if not, then I can't pay for anything. And I would have to throw that card away. I don't think I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is build this one that I had my eye on previously, which is going to upgrade my energy capacity limit. So you can see here now that I can hold up to 6, and it lets me file multiple gizmos. That gives me more flexibility here. Now, what I just said about potentially researching this level 2, now I can do that with less worry, and we're going to do that right now. So we're going to click here to research this level 2. If there's a 2 blue that I can build, great. If not, I can archive a second gizmo now. So now I've got more flexibility, and I've already got some of the blues. So honestly, that might be okay for us. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm going to select this guy. I can't build it because I only have 2 blue energies. If I hadn't upgraded my file limit, I'd have to just throw these away because I can't file any of these cards or build any of them. But I'm going to file this guy now. And now I get to activate this column. Remember, we wanted to lean into synergies for when we file lots of gizmos, so it made sense for us to be able to do that more. So now we're going to pick a blue. Now we're going to do this one that lets us draw off the bat. Oh, look at that. We got 4 blues now. So now what we can do is we're going to build this one right here. That one's worth more to us. And there's a reason we want to do it in this order. So this one says when you file a gizmo, pick. This one says when you build a gizmo from your archive, pick up 2. So we want to play this one first because then on the next turn when we play this one, it's going to activate this one. So let's build this guy and we'll have our first gizmo in the build column. There's a little bit of tableau watching you can do here, a little bit of hate drafting, but not a ton. This is kind of a multi-handed solitaire game. We are competing for the same resources, but the only thing I'm really looking at is how many gizmos he has built, because I need to know how fast I need to move. If I'm trying to save up for these big boys, but he's moving fast and building the little ones, I can't do that. So I might have to adjust to that because he'll force the game to end quickly. So let's build this other one from our archive. We have the blue to pay for it. And now, because we played that one first, now we get to pick 2 off of here. We are really going to get a lot when we archive now. Do we want to stick with blue? I don't think I want to necessarily stick with blue, so I'm actually going to choose this yellow energy. If I can figure out how to use the UI. And then we're going to pick a black. So the reason I didn't pick the blue is because I'm eyeing this one down here. What you'll notice is some of these have synergies based on building a color, and those colors won't match the color of the actual gizmo. So this is a yellow gizmo that gives me power when I build a blue. So if I see myself building a lot of blues, first I need to get this yellow down that helps me more after I do that. So I'm going to build that one with the yellow I drew last time. And now we can see there's all these blues here. So now I can start building blue gizmos and using the energy that I can see are available to pay for them. And I'm going to get a victory point every time I do that. It's like a little token that you put on the side. So now he's researching level 1. He doesn't like any of these 4 necessarily, so he's going to try his luck here. We're going to do one more level 1, and then we're going to start looking into the level 2. So we're going to research level 1. I don't necessarily like any of these, so let's take a look here. Let's go with that. Let's keep building in the columns we're already building. So I'm going to file this one. This is eventually going to go in this column, but for now it's going to go in my archive. So I'm going to file that. Now I get to activate all of these filing attributes. How many times am I going to forget this? First, you click the gizmo you want. So let me click this guy. Let me take this blue. Let me click this guy. I'm going to take this black. And now I'm going to click this guy, and that takes one off of here. Remember, when you see this icon, it's going to let us pick from the row. And when we see this icon, it's going to let us draw from the supply. Interesting. Let's start by building this guy, because remember when we build from our archive, we're going to get to pick 2, and that's super powerful. So we'll build the one we just had with that blue. This just lets us claim our victory point. That's cool. This is going to let us choose 2 energy. Now let's spam some blues. Okay. Now this level 2 gizmo row is all full of blues, and we can use all of those. Which one do we like? Let's do this one, which is going to give us more flexibility. We're already getting to pick 2 when we build from our archive. Now this is going to let us pick 1 when we build a yellow or a red. So we're starting to get some flexibility in here. What I could do, I could build it immediately, or I could file it and activate these and build on the next turn. I think I'm going to build it immediately this time because I don't know if I have enough spot in my energy for all of these energies that I would get. So we activate that guy. And now you can see things are going to happen when we build any color. So we're not doing a lot of picking gizmos, but we're getting our picks when we file or when we build. So I think that's okay. Might want to start thinking about energy conversion as well. Let's do a research level 2. Probably going to file this away. There we go. Those are some interesting colors here. Remember, we're going to pick 2 from here, so we'll look at the ones we have available to influence this choice. So because yellow is there, let's pick the yellow. And so we're going to file that. And now we'll use our 2 gizmos that we have and pick 2 energy to know that we can immediately pay for it. I liked some of the other capabilities of the other ones, but I guarantee that I could play this one on the next turn. So we're halfway through the game. Whoever plays the 16th gizmo triggers the end game, and that becomes the last round. Now others haven't played any level 4s, but he just played his 9th gizmo, and I've played 8. Okay, so we're going to build this one. And the reason we build that is because now we get all of these picking abilities. So we're going to go red. Oh my goodness, how many times? So first we're going to pick our 2 for building from our archive, and we're going to choose red and red. And now because we built a yellow, we get to pick another one. And so we're going to choose another red. Now I'm maxed out on energy, but that's okay because I got lots of different colors, so should be able to build some cool gizmos here. I don't have any converters. Converters let you do a couple of things. So you can see his converter, he can convert yellow to anything. And then there's also ones that double. So instead of converting the red to another color, this one lets you turn 1 red into 2 reds. Do we go for a level 4? We don't go for a level 4 now because we can't file it and get all this energy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go research this level 2 or 3, clear out some of this energy, and then we're going to research level 4 on the next one. Oh, no reds. I do have a blue. Oh, this is some fun chaining stuff. Huh. But I can build that one right away. Yeah, let's do that. We got to clear out some of this energy so that we can fill it back up on the next turn. Because remember, we get a lot of free energy orbs when we file or when we build a certain color. But, if we're maxed out at 7 and I'm getting 3 free energy, I have to throw those away. That is terrible action economy, and we got to watch out for that. I want to start looking at level 3. That black 5 is pretty cool. This guy is pretty cool as well. We're going to research. Perfect. Now, the reason I did that, I was actually hoping for a black 4. So here's why I did that. Because I get to pick 2 energy here, and I see lots of blacks. I want to pick these blacks. So I was hoping that there'd be a black 4 that I could pick, or a red 4 would work as well. But although there's no reds here. So I wanted one of these 2 colors because these are 2 colors I'm leaning into based on my current energy selection. So this black 4 is perfect. So now I file that. Now I get to activate these gizmos, and you can see here that's the energy that's available. Click that one. You have to click these one by one, which is helpful. It's easier than playing in person where you forget which gizmos you have, and that's cool, but it can be annoying because you're doing it in your head and you forget to click. You can see how this one's kind of highlight. Actually, both of these are grayed out highlighted. So I'm actually sacrificing energy here. I could have done these, but they result in me getting energy that I can't fit in my energy reserve. That's okay. That's going to happen sometimes. We're going to get our first big boy gizmo on the board here. Shout out to Starter Shot for playing with us tonight. We're going to get him on the stream here soon. Crazy week at work. I didn't have time to test the live feed with another player like I did last week with Sean, but we'll get him on, and after he's done whooping my butt at this game, I'll pick a new game and I'll whoop his butt at that. But really appreciate people joining the chat. Really appreciate people playing games, jumping in, wanting to try new games, wanting to be on with me. If you guys want to be on this stream, or if you don't want to be on the stream but you just want to play games, let me know and I can invite you to the game and you can play without having to be on camera. But this is supposed to be a community. This is supposed to be a big table. So I appreciate everyone who is starting to join me around the table here. Let's pick this guy now, and we're going to build him. Now, we cannot research again. And so this is a trade-off. I told you that normally the cost in energy is the same as the victory points you get. This guy's double. So he only costs 4 to build, but he gives you 8 points. And the trade-off for that is instead of getting a power-up, now I just can't research anymore. So I have to take what's available as opposed to being able to blind draw off the top of the deck. It's okay. It's, it's not ideal, but it's late enough in the game where those points might make a difference. So let's choose a color here. I see a couple of yellow ones, so I'll grab that. And now we'll go here. And then we definitely want another red so we can stack up on reds. And now What color do we want? Let's do another yellow. That's a good little selection right there. Cancel. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was maxed out. I thought I wasn't going to be able to play that one. This one lets me take blindly from the reserve. Drink number 2. If anyone's curious, most of these drinks that I'm drinking on the stream are non-alcoholic. That one was certainly not, because it has been a week at work and I've been looking forward to this all week. That's what I love about playing games. It's a nice escape. It gets your brain turning. It lets you focus and overthink about something other than work or relationship problems or, pets being sick or anything that might be going on in your life. And it just lets you get that mental energy out somewhere else. So let's figure out what we want to do now. So let's build another level 4. It's just worth big points. And we do have the 4 reds. So we'll build that guy. And now we get these synergies because we built a red. Let's look at the colors we already have. Let's stock up on these yellows. I'm going to click that guy and get a yellow. I'm going to click that guy and get a yellow. This guy I don't get to choose. But so now I got 4 yellows. So now I can't afford that guy, but I could file him. And then I can build that guy in a second, and he'll be worth some good points too. So our shot has 14 gizmos built to my 12. So 2 to 3 turns left, I'd say. I believe I went first. These are different colors to signify that one of you is the first player. It's clearer when there's more than 2 people playing. But I believe I went first, which means if he ends the game, I do not get another turn. When someone triggers the end game, you finish that current round. I'm not sure who triggers the end game here, though. I believe it's me. So let's build this guy for 3 points. Click. Let's take a second. Do you want a second red? Let's take a second red. Sure, why not? Oh, I don't have my light on. That's why I'm not super clear right now. Am I a little clearer? Now I'm a little more illuminated. So I had to turn my overhead light back on because what I noticed was the background removal didn't work when there wasn't enough light bouncing off behind me. So still tweaking stuff like that. If you guys have any tips or suggestions or just feedback on what looks like shit, let me know. When I make the shorts, I remove the background, and I guess it needs the light to play off of me as opposed to being dark, so it knows where to cut. But I feel like the quality of the stream has come a long way in the last month, and we're going to keep building on that for March. So the February goal was just to get muscle memory and be able to do these and crank out the videos and edit quickly without it being super stressful. And now the March goal is to keep that lack of stress but improve the quality. And so one of the things that I did this week is you can see I've got the little cursor mouse here, and I can zoom in on things, and hopefully it's just a little clearer what I'm trying to do. I can highlight stuff. I haven't been highlighting this game because the tooltips are so good. Every time I highlight it pops up, but I will use that in the future. What the heck am I doing? Okay, so this is the last round, I think. I just need to make sure I'm building a gizmo. I can't build a blue to get a point. I will build a red to pick 2 gizmos, and that's probably the best I can do. So we'll do click, 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 click. So I got some good energy at the end, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. I don't know what 338 is, by the way. And then he just built number 16, and so that should be the end of the game if I went first, which I believe I did. Yep. Actually, I didn't do as terrible in that game as I thought. All right, that's one game down. Let's get a third player. Also, if you guys ever get a Guinness or anything else with the nitro widget in there, you have to open it all the way. You can't open like a Coke where you just break the seal because there's going to be some pressure equalization and it's going to explode. So you got to just grip it and rip it. This is the one, guys. I'm feeling it. This is our moment. We've been training for this our whole lives. We've got one shot, one opportunity to seize everything we ever wanted. This is what I was looking for before. Anyone with an ELO in the threes is pretty good. I don't know why you said he's going to kick our ass when you have a higher ELO than he does. Meanwhile, I'm just over here chilling at 100. What do we want to do? That's wild, you research level 2. I'm not going to do that. Do I like any of these? I don't like any of these. I'm going to research level 1. We'll start here. I'm looking for ones with a build synergy, but we'll start with upgrading our energy and our archive capacity because those are both very important. Drum roll. Can we get a red? Oh, I scared the cat. I don't have a cat anymore. Ah, screw him. All right. Now we pick the red that we need. Oh, screw you. Did you draw a red? You suck. Oh, it's my turn. Okay, we're going to build this guy. And so now we have a little more ability to archive and hold energy, and that's good. Now we'll try and focus on those build synergies. But I don't like these because they just give us victory points. They don't actually build our engine. That's freaking stupid. Let's be conservative. We're going to start off conservative. You got to be kidding me, man. I say my strategy out loud, and now I'm not going to draw any cards that work towards that strategy. That's wild. We'll go here because at least we can build this one. So now when we pick a red, we get to pick another one. That's kind of cool. That's the one we wanted. I'm going to file that guy away. Anytime we build a black, that lets us pick another energy. This game is going fast. Okay. Is there anything I can build right now? No. I can pick this red, which gives me 2. So that's a nice little synergy here. So I pick one red and pick a second red. Oh my goodness. Click. Guys, we're speed running. I love it. Do we build the red we have? Did I click that too fast? God damn it. We're going to build this guy. I meant to pick a second red there, and I think because the tooltip popped up and I got mad, I went too fast, but that's fine. We're getting the thing we wanted anyway. Okay, now let's start chaining some stuff. So now, when we build a yellow, we get to pick. So we'll start by building this yellow. I'll select this guy. Now remember, when we pick a red, we also get to pick. So now we'll pick that, and now we'll go here. And now we're starting to chain some stuff together. Those reds are worth more than I have. Let me build this guy. Build him. So now we're going to get to pick off of 2 colors, and we'll get to get a second energy off of 2 colors that we can potentially pick. So build a yellow and a black, we get to pick a color. If we then pick a black or a red, we get to draw another one. So we can start chaining some stuff together. What do we want to do? Let's research a level 2. Let's just get things moving. So that's building out of our file, and now let's pick 2. That's pretty cool. Yeah, sure. Let's work towards that. Give me a red. Oh my god. Never. I never get the ones I want. But that's okay, because when we build a black, good things will happen, and there's 2 blacks available, so we'll probably build another black on the next turn. So build a black, then we get to pick. As long as we pick a red or a black, we'll get another energy off of that. So we got some stuff going. All right. Which one do we like better? We're leaning into the pick more than I thought we would. So now we'll build this. So we built the black. Now we build the black, and now let's pick. We're going to pick a red. So we have multiple reds. Because we did that, we get to draw another one. Oh my god, I've never drawn the color I wanted. I was hoping for another red there. But that's okay. It's all gonna be okay. None of these are worth 2. I don't like that. I'm going to research and hope that I can grab something that's worth 2. There we go. That's what we needed. That's exactly what we needed. But I can't build that yet. Do I file that guy away? Do I burn a turn and file that guy away? I really like that. I'm going to do it. So I could build the red one right now, but I'd much rather just do this one and get the worst possible color choice there. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. That cost me a turn because I don't have anything to build right now. Ah, crap. This isn't good, guys. We're going to go here. We're going to hope that we can build a yellow one. That's what we needed. That's huge. We're going to take this guy. Oh, we can't build a yellow, though. What am I thinking? Jesus. Okay. Let's wind it back. We're making mistakes now. Cancel. Build this red guy. Build. No synergies off of that, though. Yep, that's not good. Now I'm falling behind. I just wasted like 2 turns. Instead of just spending the turn to get the second black I needed. All right, let's just take our medicine here, get the black that we wanted before, draw another one off the bat. I have never drawn the color I wanted, and I feel like it's costing me like a quarter of a turn every time, and I think that is kind of bumming me out. Also, he is running away with this. Look at this. All right, now we can build this guy. Build that guy for 2. Now I pick that. Now I will take a blue. because I get to do that. And now I'm maxed out, so I can't even do my other one. At least I have 5 blues. Maybe I can build something out of the research column, or that one will still be around. Do I get anything for building a blue? I don't get anything for building a blue. Okay, now we get to build this big boy. He's worth 5 points. That's dope. The other thing is 1 less energy when building a level 2, so that's cool. So now this guy only costs 2 red. That's fun. I don't have any converters though. What are we doing now? Why don't we research again? There we go. Now we can build this guy because he only costs 1 red instead of 2 because of that power up. Now I get to pick. Blue gives me the most, so I'll grab a blue, and now I get to activate these two. So you can see how things are chaining together. So first I use this to pay less, then because I built it, it lets me pick one, but then because I picked one of a certain color, that lets me draw off the back. And of course I have 3 different colors now, because why would the colors be the same? I'm keeping up with this other guy though. That's cool. Do I stick with the level 2s because they're cheaper now? I think I do. Unless he takes the one that I was just eyeing up. Yep, he did. That's cool. That's real cool. That's okay. Odds are one of these will only cost 2 to build and I can afford it because it's discounted. Perfect. So just like that, the red only costs 2. So I'll build that guy for cheaper. And now we'll just keep doing the same thing. So select that. Because I built a red, now I get to pick a blue. And because I picked a blue, now I get to draw, draw, draw. And now I got Mundo energy. But again, it's never the same energy. Oof. I'm just not drawing them right today. We're doing okay, though. The second time Ritzko's going to take the one that I was looking at. You bastard. That's cool, though, because we're just going to keep it going. So remember, this guy costs 3 blue, but I have that discount because of that gizmo. So we're going to build him for 2. Because I built the blue, I can pick. I will pick blue whenever it's available because then it's just click. Well, I'm out. Huh. Thought I was going to get more than that. I didn't build enough energy reserves. You can see how this he has 10, and so that's super valuable there. I just don't have a collection of colors here. But we're going to be able to build one of these guys. Or I can build that guy. I think we keep that guy. 2 turns left. We're going to keep that guy. So we're going to build this black guy here for 2 black instead of 3 black. And then we'll build this red guy here for 2 red instead of 3 red. So we'll be good. It is a race for second that I am not winning. All right, so stick to the plan. Build that guy for 2. Activate. Oh, doesn't really matter. I will do that just to stock up on the reds. And then we will... Actually, no. Then I'll do that, and then I'll take another red. And so I can build a 5 red now. So maybe we'll do a Hail Mary on the last turn. And hope that we get a 4 or a 5 red by researching. Depends. If we're 3 behind, then we'll play that and we'll win the tiebreaker. If we're 4 behind and we need more points, then, good lord, 41. We'll see how many points he has. If 3 points ties us, we should win the tiebreaker because we're going to have more gizmos built. If it does not, then we'll throw a Hail Mary. And it does not. How the heck did he build 5? Oh, because he gets extra points. Well, now it doesn't matter what we do because I think the most we can get... No, we can get 29. All right, here we go. So we got to research, and we need a red 5. Red 4 will not do it. Red 5 will tie us, and then we'll win the tiebreaker on gizmos built. So give us a red 5. Give us a red 5. Give us a red 5. Oh, wait. Well, I can still build it, but it's not going to be worth any points. This would have been greater on the second to last turn because that's worth a point for every energy left unspent, which is now 0. So that... Oh, wait. I can still get a bunch of energy, so we'll do that. Click. Oh, yeah, because it's multicolor, you get to activate all of these. Where the fuck was that before? Well, we went for it. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. No, it did work because I get to trigger all those. I got a bunch of energy at the end, so it was worth points. Ha-ha! Suck it, Ritzko. And suck it, Jerry, for saying that guy's going to kick our ass. So, of the normies who aren't god tier at this game, I did fine. Yeah, you may have been wrong. Just for that, you don't get your victory. Yeah, it seems like building, like you've got to invest in this build column here. You've got to be able to build gizmos with energy and get energy back after building those gizmos. Otherwise, you'll just fall behind. You almost blew it at the end by passing. Oh, yeah. How funny would that have been if I was like, it doesn't matter, pass, even though all of those energies actually did give me second place. That would have been... But, guys, that's Gizmos. Where's my other hand? There's my other hand. That's Gizmos. That's a sort of light to medium weight engine builder. Lots of fun. You can teach it to someone in 5 minutes. It's actually fun in person because you do get... You can't see it based on this graphic, but you do get this like big gumball machine. And it actually works like a conveyor belt. So you can like draw the back and you can pull one out and then they slide out like this. But it's really fun and it's a really great way to teach some Euro engine building concepts. Nice fun game. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. Always look forward to this. Got lots of fun games coming up. Lots of cool new stuff. Some stuff we haven't seen before. A couple more collabs coming up. A couple different environment games. I want to get back to some slightly heavier games with longer turns and talking through my thought process a little bit like that too. But I also really enjoy the back and forth. So, even though Starter Shot wasn't on the stream with us, he was in the chat, which I really appreciate. And we can kind of get a little bit of banter going. But yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it growing. It's going to take time to build up the community. But we're getting there, and it's just going to be more fun every week. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will catch you next week.